Now, Thabo Bester and the 11 people accused of helping him escape are going to be in court once again today in Bloemfontein. They are charged with various crimes, including fraud, corruption, helping a prisoner escape, starting a fire and desecrating a body.
Now, to keep you up to speed, 9 of them are currently out on bail. So what is the expectation today? Let's go over to our senior reporter, Silindelo Masikane, who's been following this from the very beginning. It's a masterclass in court coverage. Slee, morning to you. A while since we saw the case back up in court again. So maybe just bring us up to speed. What are we expecting today?
Certainly, it's been some time since we saw the Thabo Bester accused back in the Bloemfontein Magistrate's court. Their last appearance was back in August. So today we are expecting, of course, that there'll be heightened security in and around the Bloemfontein Magistrate's Court precinct. Now, of course, between that last appearance and now, there have been a few developments around Nandi Pamakutumana's fight for bail. And of course, what we know in terms of how this case is going to move forward. Just to bring our viewers up to speed, let's just take a look at what happened during the last appearance and some of the developments that have taken place after that. It was a brief appearance for 12 suspects accused of assisting Thabo Bester escape from prison in August. But for Bester and Nandi Pamakutumana, it was more of a reunion. The pair arrived in matching outfits, held hands, and could be seen catching up in an intimate conversation. Bester's lawyer told the court that the convict is demanding to have items and cash worth millions returned to him.
Marriage ring, 350,000 rands, and these are watches, your worship, and APX2, 2.5 million. There were 2 of those, your worship. An FM, 2.5 million, 2 of those as well. A Rolex O, 2.6 million rents, 2 of those. Just written a C, valued at 1,750 rents. A PP, valued at 1.9 million rents. Cash, which is missing, 295,000 rents, South African rents, worship, 36,000 US dollars, 7,200,000 Tanzanian, I don't know if they are dollars or what, worship, and there's Zambian money, 1.4 million, European pounds, 500,000, Swiss francs, 150,000, worship.
But the police commissioner has since rubbished this.
What we are aware of as South African Police Service is that on arrival at Lanseria Airport, police confiscated 2 cell phones and a laptop. That's what we know and that's what we are aware of. We are aware that he paid a lawyer there with watches. So if he had cash on him, how then would he pay a lawyer for consultation with watches instead of paying his cash? We don't know about the cash. Maybe he can go and ask. I'm sure in Tanzania, I don't know. But we are only aware of 1 laptop, 2 cell phones that are currently in our stores.
Meanwhile, Makutumana has been fighting for her freedom unsuccessfully. In her bail bid, she claimed Bester kidnapped her and forced her to leave the country. But she's been labelled a flight risk who could facilitate another escape.
The evidence indicates that she does not really need a passport of her own to leave the borders of this country, but she crossed a few borders with accused number 5. It's a good indication that she has the necessary means, the know-how to leave the country.
Sinuhe Matswara, Zolile Sekeleni, Tebogo Dupulu, Mutenyana Masukela, Tiago Makhotsa, Nastasia Jansen, Tabang Mir, Jul Makheta, and Moiketi Ramudula have all been released on bail. Zimbabwean national Zanda Moyo abandoned his bail bid and remains behind bars. Bester is expected to once again be transported from Pretoria's Kgosimampuru prison to Bloemfontein for their next appearance. Silindelo Masikane, Johannesburg.
One thing that's for certain, Silindelo, is that this is a mammoth case. It took so many people to be involved in this elaborate, design to get Thabo Bester out. It's about 7:10 now. What time are we expecting the proceedings to begin today?
Well, if everything goes according to plan, then we are expecting with court proceedings to start just after 9 o'clock this morning. Of course, we know that this case attracts a lot of media attention, so we are expecting that some media houses are going to have to make some applications to be able to cover those proceedings inside court. But I think what's going to be interesting to see is whether or not investigations in this matter have been finalized and whether or not we're any closer to a trial date, because in that last appearance we heard from the state prosecutor that they were finalizing the investigations, that more arrests hadn't been ruled out, but at this stage it does seem as though this is the 12, including Bester, that is going to be prosecuted for that elaborate escape. So we will be bringing you those visuals live once proceedings begin just after 9 a.m.
And looking forward to it as always, both here on DSTV 403 and I'm sure as well on eNCA.com once it does get underway. I think there's so much anticipation. It's been such a long time since this court case has continued. Don't miss it. Also, by the way, Silindelo Masikane on X. I don't know how she does it so quickly from inside court. She updates via social media all the time and perfectly accurately, so she's worth a follow, by the way, if you can't be with us all morning.
I really am awaiting that court date, that trial date, because that, as you know, is where all the details start coming out, the when, the hows, the whos. I'm sure you have as many questions as we have. An elaborate web that was cast and spun around Thabo Bester. So when we have that date, then at least we'll start knowing what exactly went into all of that.